If you find yourself in a bad relationship, it's important to know what to look for. Here are 5 signs that you're in a bad relationship. You feel trapped. If you feel like you can't escape or that your partner controls everything, this is a sign of a bad relationship. You're constantly arguing. Arguments are a normal part of relationships, but if they're constant and always lead to tension, this is a sign that the relationship is headed in the wrong direction. You don't feel loved. If you don't feel cherished or loved by your partner, this is a clear sign that the relationship isn't going well. You're not happy. If you're not content with your relationship, it's likely because you're not feeling appreciated or loved. You're not attracted to your partner. If you find yourself disliking your partner sexually, this is a clear sign that the relationship isn't working. You don't feel heard or respected. If your partner doesn't listen to you or doesn't value your opinion, this is a sign of a bad relationship. You're constantly fighting. If fights become a norm in your relationship, this is a sign that things are not going well. You're not happy. If you're not content with your life or your partner, this is a sign of a bad relationship. You don't feel safe or loved. If you don't feel safe or loved in your relationship, it's time to get out before it gets worse. How to end a bad relationship. If you find yourself in a bad relationship, it's important to remember that you are not alone. Many people find themselves in bad relationships because they fall for the wrong person. Here are 4 steps that can help you end a bad relationship. 1. Recognize that you are in a bad relationship. The first step is to recognize that you are in a bad relationship. You may not be happy, but you need to be honest with yourself if you want to end the relationship. It is also important to remember that you cannot change your partner, so do not put your self-esteem on the line by trying to change them. 2. Talk to someone about your feelings. The next step is talking to someone about your feelings. This can be a friend, family member, or therapist. Talking about your feelings will help you work through them and come up with a plan for ending the relationship. 3. Take time for yourself. Another important step is taking time for yourself. This means setting boundaries and spending time alone. This is an important step if you do not want to break up with your partner, but you also need time for yourself so that you can heal from the damage done in the relationship. 4. Break up with your partner. The final step is breaking up with your partner. This may be difficult, but it is the best way to end the relationship. You need to be sure that you are making the right decision for yourself, and breaking up with your partner will help you do that. Remember, ending a bad relationship is not easy, but it is possible if you take the time to heal and understand why the relationship was bad in the first place. How to stay in a good relationship. You may be in a great relationship, but it can be easy to fall for the wrong person. Here are 4 tips to help you stay in a good relationship. 1. Communicate. If you're not feeling happy in your relationship, talk to your partner about it. Say what's on your mind and try to understand why they might be behaving the way they are. This will help them to know that you're not just going to take their crap, and it will open up communication between the two of you. 2. Respect each other's space. If one of you starts putting all their energy into work or trying to spend time with their friends instead of with their partner, it might be time to reconsider the relationship. Granted, this doesn't mean that one partner should always put the other first, but setting boundaries can help prevent resentment from building up over time. 3. Don't give up on your relationship. Even if things aren't going as planned or you're feeling stressed out about your relationship, don't let yourself go too far down that rabbit hole of misery. Remember, there are still many good reasons to stay together, and sometimes those reasons come out of nowhere. Give your relationship a chance, and you might be pleasantly surprised. 4. Be there for each other when things get tough. If one of you is going through a tough time, it's important to be there for them. This doesn't mean that you have to shoulder all the burdens alone. Your partner should feel comfortable telling you what's going on and asking for your help. In short, if you're feeling lost or unhappy in your relationship, it might be a good idea to take a step back and assess what's going on. By doing so, you may be able to fix whatever's not working and keep your relationship healthy for years to come. What are the signs that you're falling for the wrong person? There are a few things you can look out for if you're starting to feel like you're falling for someone who isn't right for you. 1. You start to change your mood and personality around them. You may start to become more outgoing, happier, or even more carefree than usual. This could be because the person makes you feel good, or because they remind you of someone you used to care about. However, if this change is too drastic or lasts too long, it may be a sign that it's time to move on. 2. You develop a strong emotional connection with them, either because they make you happy, make you feel safe, or simply because they are someone that you connect with on an emotional level. This can often be a sign that the person isn't right for you because strong emotional attachments can often lead to bad relationships. If this connection feels too strong or lasts too long, it might be a sign that it's time to move on. 3. You find yourself doing things that you wouldn't normally do just to see or talk to them. This could include anything from staying up all night to sending them endless text messages. If this behavior becomes too excessive or obsessive, it might be a sign that you're starting to fall for them too hard. How do you deal with feeling like you're in a bad relationship? When you're in a bad relationship, you might feel like there's nothing that you can do to make it better. But there are ways to deal with feeling stuck in a bad relationship, and it starts by recognizing the signs that you're falling for the wrong person. Here are 5 signs that you're in a bad relationship. 1. You find yourself justifying your partner's actions instead of challenging. 2. You start to feel like your partner is the only person who understands you. 3. You stop seeing your own needs and wants and become too focused on your partner's. 4. You start to feel like your relationship is more important than anything else in your life. 5. You start to worry about whether or not your relationship will last forever. What should you do if you think your significant other isn't into you anymore? There are a few things you can do if you think your significant other isn't into you anymore. First, it's important to remember that not every change in relationship status is necessarily bad. Maybe your partner has been really busy and hasn't had time for you lately, or maybe they just decided that they want a different kind of relationship. If you feel like there might be something wrong, it's important to get honest with your partner about what's going on. Trying to force them into a certain type of relationship can lead to resentment and could ultimately damage the relationship. If talking to your partner doesn't seem like an option, you can try communicating through other means. Texting, calling, or even sending a handwritten note can help build a stronger connection between you two. Ultimately, the best way to know if your significant other is interested in continuing the relationship is to just ask them direct. If they say they don't want to continue seeing each other, it might be time to consider whether or not this was the right relationship for you in the first place. How do you know if it's time to end a relationship? When it comes to relationships, it's important to be aware of the signs that it may be time to end one. Here are 6 signs that it may be time to end a relationship. 1. You feel like you're not yourself around this person. 2. You find yourself constantly defending them, even if they do something wrong. 3. The relationship has taken a toll on your emotional and physical health. 4. You feel like you are in a toxic relationship where there is no hope of improvement. 5. You often find yourself wondering why you stayed in the relationship for so long when things were getting so bad. 6. You have had enough and want out, but don't know how to go about it. How to avoid falling for the wrong person. When it comes to relationships, it can be tough to know when you're making a mistake. But there are some key signs that you may be falling for the wrong person. Here are 4 tips to help you avoid falling for the wrong person. 1. Pay attention to your gut. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Don't ignore your intuition. It usually knows best. 2. Keep your guard up. If someone seems too good to be true, they probably is. Don't let them get under your skin. Remember, there are plenty of other fish in the sea. 3. Don't rely on words alone. Actions speak louder than words, and if someone is behaving in a way that makes you uncomfortable, it might be time to take a step back and evaluate what's going on. 4. Avoid getting attached. It can be really hard to break free from a relationship when we're already attached, but it's worth it in the end. If something feels unsustainable or too risky, it probably is. Warning signs that you're falling for the wrong person. If you find yourself constantly falling for the wrong person, it might be time to take a step back and assess your situation. Here are some warning signs that you're dating someone who's not right for you. 1. You're drawn to this person despite their flaws. 2. You overlook their bad qualities in favor of their good ones. 3. You feel like you can't live without them. 4. You find yourself justifying their actions instead of confronting them. 5. You start to feel like you are the only one who understands this person. 6. You begin to doubt your own judgment and intuition. How to deal with the aftermath of breaking up with someone. When things go wrong in a relationship, it's easy to feel like you're the only one feeling pain. But don't forget that your partner is going through their own emotions too, and they may not be able to tell you how they're feeling. Here's how to deal with the aftermath of breaking up with someone. 1. Recognize that you're not alone in your feelings. Breaking up is tough, and no one expects it to be easy. It can take time for your emotions to settle, but don't let yourself fall into a funk. Remember that everyone goes through different stages after a breakup. Some people are more withdrawn while others are more active. Just because you're feeling down doesn't mean your ex is too. 2. Talk to them about what's going on. Even if they're not ready to talk to you yet, talking to them is still important. Hearing their side of the story will help them heal and may even lead them back to you. If they don't want to talk to you, that's okay too. There are plenty of other ways to communicate your feelings. 3. Reach out to friends or family members who can help cheer you up. Breaking up is a tough experience, but it'll get better with time. Remember to take things one step at a time and talk to your partner about what you're feeling. They may need you to support them during this difficult time.